Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is the first day of fall, and so that means you already know I'm on my productive tip. Y'all know I love self-improvement, wellness, lifestyle, just making sure we're all better than we were yesterday. And so you know I had to come with some micro habits for y'all. I love talking about self-improvement. I'm always giving y'all the tea, the spiel on how I got where I am and what I'm doing to get where I want to be. And I thought, let me share some little tiny tips that I've never touched on to help you guys. So make sure to like this video, comment on this video, subscribe to this channel, all the little YouTuber things, you know? And let's just dive right into the micro habits. Okay, so first of all, I consider micro habits the very small things that run through your mind very quickly. These are most likely split-second decisions that I'm making. Most of these I don't even think of until I'm in the moment, but I realize these make a significant impact because they snowball into bigger things. Taking these small little things help me when it comes to the bigger habits that I've set in my life. So the first micro habit that I do helps you practice self-control. I call it taking one less bite. I don't know about y'all, but one of the things I am still working through is my relationship with food. I love food. Sometimes I even eat when I'm bored or when I see something really good just because I've been getting out of that. It's definitely been in my prayers for the last couple months. But one thing that has helped me with self-control in that area specifically is taking one less bite. Like I'll be eating something and you get full a lot of the times before you actually finish your plate. But I know I just finished my plate because it's my plate. Like I'm gonna finish it. But I always practice one last bite. If I'm feeling satisfied and full and I'm about to take another bite, I'll put it down. Okay, one less bite. I was gonna take this bite, I'm not going to anymore, and I'll just put it back. And this doesn't just involve food. If you're on your phone and you're like, all right, I'm about to get off, this is my last TikTok. No, don't scroll. Make that TikTok that's on your phone right now your last TikTok. Or one more minute and I'll get up for work. No, get up right now. Take away that one extra minute or bite or second that you're gonna give yourself of grace. To me, it's similar to whenever you have to get up early in the morning and instead of groveling over the fact that your alarm is going off, you jump up immediately. Instead of intaking the fact that your alarm is going off and you have to get up and thinking about it and mulling it over, if you just jump up and do something, it makes it go by much smoother. Same thing with the one last bite method. Don't satisfy your flesh in that moment. And once you keep doing things like that and you practice one less minute, one less bite, you get better at having self-control when it comes to the bigger things because you're used to denying yourself in small increments like that. So the next micro habit that really helps me is setting timers. This is a new one that I started doing that I really like. I am one who loves to-do lists and tasks, and I love checking them off, but I never give myself a time limit. So I can have 5 things to do and I'll stretch it out that whole day because I only have 5 things to do. As long as I get it done today, it's fine, right? But I've noticed that I can accomplish tasks much faster than I actually do. And when I put it into perspective of time and say, Jalen, you can clean your room in 30 minutes. Why did it take you 2 hours yesterday? Or when you are doing a task and you look up and so much time has gone by and you realize I'm not being efficient with my time. And so now I set timers for most of the tasks that I do. And when I tell you that to-do list gets done so fast, y'all, I did not know I could do dishes in 30 minutes because I don't have a dishwasher. So I'm hand washing and I do it multiple times because I need my dishes clean. You can really knock that out so quick if you just put on a timer. Cleaning my room, put on a timer. Most tasks do not take as long as you think. And once you know that a timer is going, you kind of try to beat it. So then the next day you're like, okay, I could do this in 25 minutes. I could do this in 20 minutes. It puts everything into perspective for me. I see ways I can be efficient in and how I need to schedule my day instead of willy-nilly writing down a bunch of tasks and then doing them as I see fit and potentially running out of time to do something that I should have done earlier. It just really has helped me. Alrighty, the next micro habit that I also have recently implemented is assigning myself one mandatory task per day. And this is usually outside of my non-negotiables or the things that I'm going to do every day. There is something about checking something off of a to-do list that just does it for me. I can't explain it. But if I write it down on that to-do list for the day and I get it done and I get to cross it off, and now I'm seeing everything crossed off and I know, okay, I only have this many things left to do, I think it's a dopamine release for me, right? And so now that I'm way more efficient with my time and I see that my non-negotiables do not take that much time of my day, and I get to now assign an extra task that is also beneficial to my life, do y'all not see the compounding enjoyment that you would get out of that? It can be decluttering, organizing, going to the car wash, making a call that you have been blowing off, signing up for something you said you were gonna do, making sure that you're doing something every single day on top of what you know you need to get done. And I usually like to make this something that I've been blowing off, something that I've been dragging out, something that is weighing in my head, but I'm not addressing because I'm focused on my daily things. It's kind of like emptying the junk folder of your mind, just getting all these little tasks out of the way that you have the ability to push off, but just getting it done, because truly they never take that long. I'll push off calling somebody that I needed to call, and after the phone call is done, you feel this release and you're like, that really was not something I needed to hold on to for this long. So do one extra task and try to make that task something that you don't really want to do, but you know you need to do. All right, we're coming to the end, but I've got 2 more micro habits, one of which is setting yourself up for rejection. Now, I remember this was way back, I think I was maybe 18 or 19, newly stepping into adulthood. And I was still very timid when it came to interacting with people. Not in the sense that I didn't talk or I was shy, but certain things just made me uncomfortable to do, like returning things or making doctor's appointments, those tasks that you were used to your parents doing or you just never really had to do. So then when you finally stepped into adulthood and you had to do them, it was a little nerve-wracking. I remember I went through that phase. And one way I really got myself out of my comfort zone was to face it head on. And I went into full-on rejection therapy. I would do things I was terrified of, so scared to do, put myself in positions to be uncomfortable, to be awkward, because I knew I needed to just expose myself to it so that I would be fine with it. And so I'm out of that phase where I'm scared to do returns, scared to talk to people. Like, girl, I'm good on that. But now my rejection therapy looks like not being so passive about myself, I guess, or my beliefs, my boundaries, and putting myself out to be combated or rejected or shut down or whatever. This really looks like not agreeing with everything or not partaking in every conversation or everything that's brought to me just because it's brought to me. I live in the South, so people are very friendly. They'll come up to you, oh, hey, how you doing? Oh, I see you got this shirt on. They're winning, huh? And they just kind of make these small conversations. Usually I'm very like, oh yeah, ha 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 ha. I'm learning to kind of say how I really feel and be okay with being turned down or combated with, if that makes sense. I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. I'll give you an example. So let's say someone comes up to me and they're like, what's your sign? And usually I'll give a couple of answers. I'll either say, I don't know, or I'll say, I forgot, or I'll say, oh, I don't really keep up with it. Just something passive to make it not awkward or to just make it seem amicable. But for me, if I want to put myself out to face rejection, I may say, oh, I don't believe in that. That kind of shifts the conversation, right? Because now you're coming to me about something and I'm sort of shutting it down. So maybe you might want to now talk about it, or maybe you might look at me weird, or maybe, stuff like that. Or another example is if somebody is coming to me wanting to talk about somebody else or wanting to complain. I don't like complaining. I hate complainers. So if somebody's like, oh my goodness, did you hear what he said? Did you hear what the manager said? He's so annoying. I'll be like, girl, I guess he just got a job to do. I don't know, girl. And kind of shift. Put yourself out there to face some kind of rejection, some kind of discourse. And that's one of my favorites. That's one I'm still working on. That's one that's been very heavy on me in this season. But that's a little micro habit. Don't be passive with everything. Put your opinion in there sometimes, even if you don't care, just for the sake of establishing who you are. All right, my last micro habit, I give the credit to God because he showed me this lesson over a year ago, and it's been very heavy in this season. Like, I'm seeing why he taught me this lesson, this micro habit, and why it's good to have, which is holding a secret. Y'all, having a running mouth, giving up all your information about your life, no ma'am. Some things need to be kept close to the belt, and you don't know people's intentions. It is so easy to just assume that when you're having casual conversation that everything is just peachy keen, nobody cares. No, y'all, you have to be able to just keep your mouth shut sometimes. I know I just talked about sharing your opinion, but that's in a sense of you're not doing it just for the sake of appeasing somebody. But when it comes to your business, your life, the things that you're working on or thinking about or that are important to you, you should think about keeping your mouth shut. And you should also think about not sharing everything you know about a situation. There are so many times where I'll receive word about the same situation from 2 different sources, and maybe I could piece together certain parts of a story for people, but I'm not into that. Like, that's not my job. I'm not gonna piece together any puzzle. Just keep it shut. Just, okay. Or whenever somebody is talking to you, and maybe you might have something that relates to what they're talking to, but should you really be divulging certain details of your life to certain people? I don't know. I'm just saying, you never know what intentions they have for you, where that information will go. Of course, this is not for everybody. You might have your confidants and whatever the case may be, but I think it is a very important practice to be able to keep a secret. Not everything you know has to be shared with everybody. It's worked well for me. I've seen the consequences of it, and you might want to just pray about it, see what God has to say about it. All right, y'all, so those are a couple of micro habits that I've been doing, have learned, am learning. I can make a part 2 if y'all want to hear about more micro habits, but make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video.